In this presentation, we're going to discuss when to use the passé composé versus the imparfait. When do you use the passé composé? Well, you're going to use that when you're referring to completed actions, as an action began and ended in the past. For example, je suis sorti avec Carole. You're also going to use it when you're referring to actions that occurred at a specific time. Elle a peur quand le chien a aboyé. She was afraid when the dog barked. There was a specific time when she was afraid. You're also going to use it when actions occurred at a specific number of times. J'ai visité Paris 2 fois. So if you're able to count how many times you did something, that's passé composé. When do you use the imperfect? Well, the imperfect describes things in the past as well. However, the difference is these actions are ongoing, repeated, or incomplete, as in the beginning and the end are not indicated. The imperfect, again, describes habitual or ongoing actions, and here are 2 examples. Je travaillais avec ma sœur l'année dernière. There should be an accent grave right there. In this example, the action is repeated, it's ongoing, there's no clear ending. We don't know when she stopped working with her sister last year. Our second example, quand j'étais petit, je jouais avec mes cousins. Okay? When you were little, that's a large time frame there. You played with your cousins. There's no clear ending or beginning in this example. The imperfect will also describe physical and emotional descriptions, including time, weather, physical descriptors, age, and feelings. So we have 2 examples here. Quand j'avais 18 ans, j'étudiais avec mes amis. In this example here, you're talking about age. I know that's a specific time, but it's age, so you have to use the imperfect. J'avais 18 ans. J'étudiais, what were you doing? You were studying, okay? There's no clear end or beginning. In our next example, il était midi et il faisait mauvais. When you're talking about time and weather, you have to use the imperfect. Je voulais te voir, I wanted to see you. It doesn't indicate how long that person wanted to see you. There's no time at all, so we're going to use the imperfect there. Can you use both the passé composé and imparfait in the same sentence? Yes, you can. The imperfect and passé composé will work together sometimes. The imperfect will typically provide a background description of what's going on in a story. And then the passé composé is going to be used to express just what specifically happened. So we have 2 examples here. J'ai vu Chris Brown quand je faisais du shopping. I saw Chris Brown. That's something specific that happened. Quand je faisais, when I was shopping. That's what you were doing. Nous regardions la télé lorsque le téléphone a sonné. So we were watching TV. That's something we were doing. And then all of a sudden, the telephone rang. Here are some key words which my students know. We have this document enlarged in a separate file on my website for your use if you can't see this that clearly. But here's a neat little list of words, key indicators of when to use the imperfect versus when to use the passé composé. Now you may pause this presentation so that you can do the first set of checking your understanding questions. Please refer to the notes. Don't forget to look at keywords. Okay, here are the answers. In number 1, the answer was regardions. How do we know we had to use the imperfect? Well, our sentence said le vendredi, nous blank une émission en français en classe. So it said on Fridays. That's continuous, that's habitual, it's repeated, it's ongoing. So you must use the imperfect there. In our next example, un soir, Marie, there was a blank, au cinéma avec une amie. It says un soir, one night. That's a specific time. So we must use the passé composé. Okay? Number 3, Thomas, there's a blank, quand sa mère, blank, la salle de bain. Thomas was taking a shower when his mom entered the bathroom. So that's something he was doing, and then all of a sudden his mom entered the bathroom. Our last one for this slide. Je mangeais et soudainement un oiseau est tombé d'un arbre. I was eating and suddenly a bird fell from the tree. So our word suddenly is a key indicator that oiseau, this half of the sentence here, and oiseau est tombé, that part must be in the passé composé. Here is your second set of checking your understanding questions. Please pause the presentation and make sure you refer to your notes on how to use the imperfect. Okay, this is just a little review because we did talk about how to form the conjugations for the imperfect in our previous PowerPoint. So let's just do a quick recap here. Thomas se laver les mains. We know this is the answer because if we remember how to conjugate, we'll know that we are going to take the new form of the verb. So we've got lavons. We're going to drop the O and S and then add our imperfect ending, AIT. And we know that the reflexive pronoun se stays the same. Normalement, je finissais avec, it should be avant mes amis. Sorry about that double M there. Again, the new form would be finissant in the present tense. Drop your O and S, and then you're going to tack on that AIS ending for finissez. De temps en temps, elle allait. Allait in the new form of the present is allons. Drop your O and S and add your AIT. And then last but not least, vous vendiez les autos le week-end. In the new form, we have vendons. Drop our O and S, and then add our imperfect ending of IEZ. If you have any questions, write them down and ask me in class. Remember, you can listen to this recording as many times as you need to so that you can master the content.